What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the 90th minute. It's a weird episode today because there's only two of us. Greg, what's going on?
I don't know. Everyone just kind of disappeared, except us, of course.
Yeah, I heard Liam's fighting ninjas or something.
I don't know about that, but yeah, no, it's kind of different, just the two of us. So hopefully you do enjoy.
Yeah, we'll do our best today. Liam, Matt, and Waz aren't here due to unforeseen circumstances. Hopefully they'll be back with some videos coming this week. Hopefully we have something coming out Tuesday or Wednesday, but we'll see. For now, we talk about the beautiful game, and it's been all right weekend. Some good action, some disappointing matches, but we might as well delve in and talk about it. And don't worry, we'll get some comments from Waz later on as well.
Yeah, well, so do you want to start with Manchester United-Chelsea?
Yes, we might as well, as that match was the big headline match for the weekend, and unfortunately, it did end 0-0. Chances came far and few between, and both sides, in my opinion, it seemed like they were trying to play like they're not trying to lose or something like that.
100%. They were both just being very cautious with the defending. We know, of course, what happened with United in the match week before, and it was brutal for them. And then Chelsea blew their lead, so they're both trying. They conceded lots of goals for big clubs, and they're trying to not concede. And that's exactly what they both did.
Yeah, both sides had decent weeks, I guess. Manchester United won midweek against PSG. Chelsea actually kept a clean sheet midweek against Sevilla, which was surprising, and they kept another one here. Yeah, they changed their system a little bit. I think it was more of like a 3-4-3, and Manchester United went with this lineup that defeated Newcastle. Mendy was probably the man of the match because he's or maybe even Thiago Silva, because defensively they were strong. I think both sides won't be mad at the result, but yeah, it was a little disappointing to watch.
As a neutral, especially, it was pretty boring, honestly. Not a lot of chances, not the big players for each team didn't really get into the game. They didn't get their big chances. Kind of boring for the neutrals.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say about Chelsea, it seems like they can only do one thing, really. One of few things. Play attacking, but concede a lot of goals and make a lot of mistakes. Or play a bit more defensive, but then that prevents them from having many attacking chances. And it's something they need to strike the balance for, and they haven't quite got there yet, but still a lot of new signings. Maybe they'll get there later this season. We'll see. You do have to ask some questions for Frank, though. Some interesting decisions by him.
Well, I know Waz will have a lot to say, but what about that Maguire holding down Azpilicueta?
How is
that not a penalty? That is ridiculous. He's completely just grappled him and held him down, not able to jump.
Yeah,
it's crazy that was.
And then you compare that to the penalty given in El Clasico or.
Yeah. Well, and then the commentators of the match were saying it right too, and then right after Rashford goes down in the box and there was nothing on it, and they were looking over that 4 different times. Yeah. And it's that's not a penalty. Just move on.
Yeah, it definitely some frustration there, and we'll see what Waz's thoughts are. So Waz, take it away.
Hey guys, how's it going? Waz here, and since I can't be on the podcast due to work, I should be back next week and then week after that. I'm gonna give my thoughts on the United-Chelsea game. I've had a day to kind of settle and collect my thoughts about it, and honestly, it was a boring game. I think from a neutral point of view, it was a very boring game, but I somewhat found some enjoyment as a United supporter. I was very nervous at almost all moments of the game. I was worried at any moment Chelsea could score. They got creative players. They've got good players going forward. But alas, the game ended 0-0. United, we did create some good chances throughout the match. Not great. I felt we did lack creativity in the midfield. But yeah, throughout, I think it was the first 20 minutes where, I thought Chelsea were the better side. They were controlling the ball better, going forward, exposing our flanks a little bit. I think around the 30th to 40th minute, United started to pick it up. They started to control the game more. Finally getting a bit of a grip. I feel like this game, maybe we missed Martial, but then again, Martial, let's be real here. He would go one-on-one with Thiago Silva, try to find a way to get past him and he wouldn't score. Let's be real. He wouldn't have made a difference. Now, the big question mark, of course, throughout this match was Harry Maguire. It was a penalty. I will admit, that should have been a penalty. If that happened to a United player, I'd be furious. I'd be asking VAR, why aren't you checking this? Why is the penalty? So Chelsea, in a sense, did get robbed. And, of course, they get the penalty. They could have scored. They could have missed. And they likely would have won 1-0. But that's football. There's a lot of what-ifs in football. Same thing could be said for United. What if Mendy didn't make those key saves? What if Rashford scored those big chances that he got? Could have been 1-1. 1-0 to United. 1-0 to Chelsea. Could have went either way, but it was 0-0. I think it was a fair result. I think it was a very even game in a sense. Both teams had chances, but both teams, you saw their faults. There were a few United players that did impress me in this match. Of course, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw. Other than the defense actually they played well. Not terrible. Wasn't as good as, against PSG. Of course, Tuanzebe was on the bench. A lot of people were wondering if he was going to start. I think Ole is trying to rotate the squads a little bit between Champions League and league matches. So, I don't know how to... when I saw the lineup, I wasn't sure how to feel about it because, you had Juan Mata starting. He didn't play terrible. Yeah, what could I say? The midfield was okay. I think Bruno was a bit risky at times, a little inconsistent, but he was creating. And honestly, I'll give it to Harry Maguire. He did have a good game defensively. Yes, if he did give up that pen, if that was a pen, we would say shocking match from Maguire. What was he thinking? Still, what was he thinking doing that? Mate, you're not in Greece anymore. I'll stop with the Greece jokes, but it's just, that was a silly play. That could have been a pen if anyone else was refereeing. Let's be real, Martin Atkinson, not a great ref. I'll be honest. Sometimes I feel like these referees, they call and decide what they want because they know their job is so safe. If that happened to a Man United player, I'd be shouting, VAR, ref, what's happening here? Now Maguire, scoring against Newcastle and now having a decent performance against Chelsea, I think it's going to up his confidence, which he needs right now. Let me give some praise to Chelsea, I guess. Let's be real here. Their defense was not terrible. Thiago Silva was a rock in the back. Mendy, he's telling Kepa, hey, this is my job for a reason. You had your chance, Kepa. I'm here to take it. Sit on the bench. Mendy, this is your role now. You are the main man for Chelsea. I mean, it was only two huge saves, but so far I think he's made a great impression on Chelsea supporters, and they need that. They need that confidence from their goalkeeper. Their defense needs that. Thiago Silva, like I said, rock in the back. He was a real leader. Going forward, I thought Chelsea's midfield was all right. I thought Pulisic was good on the wing. He had some chances on net. Nothing too clear. Werner and Havertz, I think they're starting to finally work together in the Premier League. But, yeah, I think they created all right chances, but nothing spectacular. Similar like Manchester United's point of view. Both teams didn't create amazing chances. I mean, Rashford did have that one breakaway, but... Right, and Edison Cavani, he comes on as well for United. Not a bad first shift. He almost went near post within his first couple minutes being on the pitch. Like Ole said, he's a different striker that United have, and hopefully he does produce for us because we need more goals from our strikers. Martial has been way too inconsistent recently. Rashford, at that lone strike position, has been good. Pogba, when he came on, I thought he was good. I didn't see any weaknesses in the game. He was working hard on and off the ball. He was making great passes, and I thought he could even scored at some point. And Van de Beek, why is Ole not starting him? I think this has been a good game for him to start. I don't know. Maybe Ole thinks he still needs some time to transition, but it's been a couple games so far. Give Van de Beek a start. Maybe in the Champions League we'll see that. Maybe that's why he didn't play. But Van de Beek, why is he not playing? We paid how much for him, right? 50 million, somewhere around there. So please, Dan James, useless. And hopefully United can beat Leipzig on Wednesday. Take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of the podcast.
All right, thanks for that, Woz, and make sure you have yourself a nice day, sir. But Greg, you were talking to me, and you said you really wanted to talk about this match, and you thought it was the best match of the weekend.
I really did, honestly. Aston Villa Leeds.
Yeah, let's talk about it. It was a fantastic performance by Leeds United. 3-0 victory. Greg?
Over the at the time undefeated Aston Villa. It was a great match. It was exciting. Lots of attacking. Leeds were just... They had that killer instinct in them. They wanted to go out there and crush them. And that's exactly what they did.
27 attempts on goal in the match. They were relentless. They just kept going forward, quickly. They weren't hesitating at all. They weren't dwelling on the ball out wide, through the middle. It was great to watch. And Patrick Bamford, man, he's just telling the haters to say, look at me, man. I can do it in the Premier League.
Yeah, people are saying, could he do it in the Premier League after he's only doing it in the Championship? But that hat-trick, that was absolutely insane. Those goals were nuts, honestly.
It was something different. And two of them came after Mings pretty much pulled Bamford with his shirt and then pushed him back down. He got a bit of karma there, I thought.
Yeah, comes back with a hat-trick after, of course. And with that, Leeds did win 3-0, which is crazy.
But let's not take anything away from Villa. They had some good chances through the match. Most of them came from Grealish, though, especially that one that would have been probably the best goal in Premier League history. My goodness.
Oh, yeah, he went through, 6 different players? That run, it was an insane run, and a lot of Aston Villa's attack does come from Jack Grealish, of course, but he seemed to have an off day. Other than a few chances, he wasn't really doing as good as I thought. But that's just the entirety of Villa wasn't doing as well.
Yeah, because he wasn't really getting any help in this match, unfortunately. That doesn't mean that he shouldn't get any criticism, like maybe making that pass to Watkins on that big run. But I thought Ross Barkley, he struggled compared to the last few matches. John McGinn just wasn't able to get it going. Trezeguet was struggling. And then Matty Cash, he got targeted so often. So many of the Leeds attack went on his side, and there's just nothing he could do with Jack Harrison and Alioski just overlapping past him. It was a tough night for him and for Villa in general.
No, yeah. It wasn't great for Villa, considering that is their first loss of the season, but they're still doing good. That brings Leeds up to, are they in third now?
No, I think they're fifth now.
Or whatever it is,
Yeah,
it's really good for Leeds. It was a great win. Patrick Bamford, of course.
Now, what was your thoughts on that 21st minute substitution?
You gotta feel bad for him, honestly. That is... But... Also, did that change the game?
Honestly, I thought him coming off and Cleek now playing a bit more deeper during the match really helped them out, because was it Shackleton that came Shackleton. On? He did a great job.
Yep, I believe he's only 20 years old, so
yeah, good for the kid. That was his debut, young. I think, right?
Yeah. And he did really good, honestly. But it helps when the entirety of the team is pressing and playing really good. So I thought, Rodrigo, he's not scoring the goals, but he's playing a little bit more deeper, and his playmaking and his ability to get the play going has been really good, I thought.
Yeah, cause I thought he got a little bit of a free role, because when they showed the lineups, it seemed like he was playing a cam, but then a lot of time you saw him as like a two-striker partnership with Bamford, but then sometimes you saw him deeper to the left, sometimes you saw him to the right. It was interesting to watch, and yeah, he hasn't been scoring the goals yet, but he's been getting involved in the plays, which is good to see. And it's
because he made I think it was Bamford's third goal. He made a real nice pass down to I can't remember who it was, but. And then, of course, someone put it to Bamford, and Bamford put it top corner with an amazing shot.
Yep. So, great performance by Leeds. Aston Villa will be disappointed. So, they'll be looking to bounce back next weekend. But for Leeds, it might be hard for them to keep this up for the entire season playing like that, because they put so many sprints in, so mumuch running. It seems like that's something hard to maintain for an entire season, especially for a promoted team.
100%. Let's see if, because Bielsa's got them running like crazy. If you aren't working, you're not playing for Bielsa.
Yeah, for sure. So Arsenal, Leicester City, that was on paper the big matchup
of the day. Not compared to United Chelsea, but
yeah. So Leicester City, they did end up winning 1-0. It wasn't the most exciting match in the world. It's kind of interesting seeing Arsenal start Aubameyang at right wing, a place where Aubameyang hasn't really consistently played for in 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah, usually he's on the left or down the middle, but
Even the left, I'm not a big fan of him being there, even though he sometimes does well there.
yeah.
But then Leicester, they started without a striker. They were kind of really mostly defending, struggling, getting any attacking going, with their best chance being a 40-yard strike from Madison when Leno was off his line.
Yeah. But Arsenal did have a pretty early chance where they did score, but it was ruled offside off the corner.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think it's the right call, but yeah, I guess he was blocking Schmeichel's view, and unfortunately for them, it didn't count. Lacazette also had a great chance later again, where
he kind of couldn't get the touch he needed to put in basically the free net.
Yeah, I think he should be scoring that, but
yeah,
interesting there. But it was very frustrating to watch Arsenal, especially in the second half, because a lot of their attacking play either came from just having one of their defenders or maybe Thomas Partey to do a long ball over the top and behind, and hopefully one of their wingers or fullbacks would get onto it, or they would just play out wide and try to cross it in or something like that. There wasn't really any creativity through the middle. Ceballos wasn't really providing anything like that, and it makes you wonder, they put Ozil. They have Ozil, but they're not going to play him this season.
Like that. You think like that would actually be like a perfect creative player right down the middle for them, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, who knows if like with how little game time he's had and everything now that he would be that spark for Arsenal down the middle, but maybe if you gave him a chance, then he could try. But
like, I know his work rate isn't the best, but
yeah,
at least he would play a forward pass, breaking some lines of defense. Like, I don't know. I do have to question Mikel Arteta a little about this match. I'm not going to be a reactionary and say that he's a fraud, but it was very just confusing decisions, I think. And it didn't help when David Luiz had to come off. He was actually playing pretty well for them, and Mustafi had to come on, and Mustafi's been quite a meme the last few years, to a point where you kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah, he had that one good season, and then it's just...
Yeah, he won 22 matches unbeaten, but then, ever since then, it's just been a bit of a
It's been pretty bad for him. But, and then, of course, Jamie Vardy does come off the bench.
And that's when it got better for Leicester, because they're actually able to get their midfield players into stronger positions that they're more comfortable with. And they actually were able to get possession in the final third, which was a rare thing to see in the first half from them.
Leicester also just play better with Jamie Vardy because he is their best player. Like, not, of course, like he missed, I think, was it the past 2 games now he missed?
Yes.
I think, and then only just came off the bench for this one. He's a big miss for that team. I mean, of course, the Golden Boot winner last season.
Yeah. And he always scores against Arsenal, which it did come here. Tielemans, he saw Sengus Under, who I completely forgot went to Leicester. Yeah. I'm like, who the heck is that guy on the pitch? And then it shows the back of his kit. I'm like, oh, crap. You're here, right. But Tielemans makes a great ball to him down the field. Shocking marking by Arsenal, as is historic as right now.
Oh, yeah.
Sengus Under, he sees Vardy to his left. He's like, okay, Mustafi's not covering him, so here you go.
He does the smart pass, and Jamie Vardy's got a free net. So.
Yeah, no chance for Leno, and Leicester did get another good chance later on where I think Leno saved it with his head.
Yeah, Vardy got put through, but Leno did do a nice save to at least not make it 2-0.
And then the substitutions Arteta made, obviously he was forced to bring on Mustafi, which ended up not being ideal. He did bring on Nicolas Pepe for, I think it was Tierney or Saka, one of the two, I can't remember. But Pepe was pretty much benched in this match. They preferred Saka, who's 18 years old, on the left, and an out of position Aubameyang, who has he scored more than one goal this season?
Yeah, Aubameyang's not been what everyone thought he would be when
he signed the paper.
When he was being because before the season started, he's compared to being the best Premier League player and everything, and right now he's not. He just needs a little bit of a wake-up call.
Look, I'm getting really annoyed with Aubameyang, man. I have him on my fantasy team every single week. I keep having him on there, keeping him as my captain.
Lucas, take him off the fantasy. He'll get a hat-trick next game.
I will be pissed off when that happens.
That will 100% happen, honestly.
He's been my captain every single week, and he still hasn't scored more than one goal this season. Well, I have Mohamed Salah and other players on there. If I put Captain Che Adams, it'd be doing better.
Yeah, Che Adams.
We'll talk about Southampton later on, but Aubameyang, you signed that big contract. You can't just now relax. You have to keep scoring the goals. The club needs it.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem that player that you can just. You need to give him the ball, put the ball to his feet, let him do his thing. And it's
maybe play him in his stronger position. I don't know.
Yeah,
because when they brought in Pepe, he was playing on left wing, and then later it seemed like he was playing like left wing back for some portions, which was odd. I don't know if that was actually the case, but he wasn't able to make an impact either. Neither was Nketiah, even though he did not make Fofana at one point, but lost the ball. But Fofana, he had a great game as well. 18, 19 years old, coming to the league. It's fantastic so far.
Well, you gotta Leicester's without Soyuncu and Ndidi, and those are big names missing from that Leicester lineup, and to beat Arsenal 1-0 it's a great result for them, honestly.
Yeah, so Brendan Rodgers gets one over Arsenal, which will help them this season.
They're up to fourth or something, honestly. I need to look at the table, but
yeah, they're fourth. They are fourth.
Yeah.
But still more questions at Arsenal than we would have thought. They need some creativity. If they got Aouar over the summer, it would have been perfect for them, but it's not meant to be. And
Danny Ceballos on his day can be that player, but off his day, it's not the same, right?
I just think we see too much pragmatism from Arsenal right now, and I don't know. I think they're not the best attacking team, really.
No, when you think that team should honestly be one of the best attacking teams, but it's just with Lacazette, Aubameyang, Nicolas Pepe, Willian, it's a very good attacking team, but they're just not doing it right now. And what we've been saying is, I think they're missing that creative player in the midfield.
For sure. And did we overrate Arteta, or is that too early? Is that too reactionary?
Who knows, honestly.
Obviously, it might be a bit reactionary, but
it's still early. It's the pandemic is going on, everything, right? It's a different season. The entire league is crazy right now. Speaking of crazy, though, this weekend was probably the first match day of the entire Prem season that hasn't been that crazy.
I mean, there are some crazy results, but not super crazy.
No, 7-1, 6-2, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. We might as well talk about Southampton, Everton. Now there's no more undefeated sides in the Premier League. Everton did not have a good day. Southampton did. Yeah. Great. What did you think?
Southampton, they were very good, but Everton, they were so off. It just was not. It was not happening for them. But that's not just to. You got to give the praise to Southampton. They pressed and they really put in the work, and it paid off for them.
At the time of recording this podcast, 1 year ago, 9-0 happened.
It's true.
9-0 happened. We predicted it 1 year ago, where they lost 9-0, to now, where they're 5th or 6th right now.
Yeah.
Playing great football, great to watch, great manager on the helm.
Don't think any of us saw this happening.
At that point, maybe not.
Yeah.
But from the beginning of this season, I'm not too surprised by Southampton.
No, honestly or not, Danny Ings is on fire. Che Adams is great striker partnership
Getting
for
the
him.
job done.
Nathan Redmond was really, really good this game. James Ward-Prowse is honestly a fantastic midfielder. Does so good for that team. The defense is really good. It's just an overall good team that works hard for their manager, for the club.
This team wouldn't work if they didn't have great work rate, because these guys run a lot. They sacrifice a lot of qualities they may have for each other so that the team can work well. They don't have any world-class players on this team, but they have some solid players when put in the right place can excel, and we've been seeing that. It's not a perfect team. They are susceptible to the counterattack like we've seen against Spurs and Chelsea, but they are a team that can give most clubs a good match.
Yeah. And like we were saying, or like I was saying, Everton, they were off this game. It's not the Everton we've seen the past 5 other games of the Premier League this season, where they're just dominating, and other than Liverpool, of course, but like where they're actually just controlling it. James Rodriguez is making complete plays, and of course they did get a red card. They made all 3 of their substitutions before the 1 hour mark in that match, which is very early on considering like injuries happen and everything. Usually save at least until like the 75th, 80th minute just in case, but they did it very early trying to change some tactics and everything, but
now
just couldn't get it going.
Now let me know what you think about this quote from Ancelotti. He said the red card was a joke. It was not intentional. For sure, it was not violent. Maybe all this talk all week against Pickford, against Richarlison affected this decision. And if so, it's not right. It's not fair. We will appeal for sure.
I don't think what happened with Pickford in the match day before affected that red card. I don't think it should have been a red. I mean, like, it is a dangerous play. You can definitely tell he was not actually going for it. It's just his leg kind of came back. I think it was Kyle Walker-Peters' leg came back, and his foot was just kind of there. Like, it was just a bad collision, an unlucky kind of thing. But it is a red card. It did hit the Achilles, and
you did see him while chasing Kyle Walker-Peters, he clipped him once or twice, and Kyle Walker-Peters stayed on his feet, and then.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he put up his hands, and be like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm off him. Like, I'm not doing anything now," and then that happened. Like, that one's questionable. Like, whether it is a red card or just a yellow, but the ref pulled out the red. VAR looked and said it was a red too, so.
Although you can't really trust VAR right now, can you?
Yeah, exactly. But just it's a lot of players out for Everton, honestly, as well. Like, of course, because Richarlison was gone, and now Lucas Digne is gone. So
Coleman didn't play. James was potentially not going to play. Ancelotti said he was no chance, but he ended up playing. But
and James now he got hurt at the probably like the 75th or 80th minute around there, and they couldn't bring him off.
Jeez,
because we had no subs, so
and down to 10 men. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So
it was just not a good day for Everton.
So Arsenal supporters, you can celebrate once again. Despite losing, no team can become invincible this season. Your gold trophy is saved for another year. Quickly talk about Wolves Newcastle. Goals from Raul Jimenez in the 80th minute and Jacob Murphy in the 89th minute. Both good strikes by them. Maybe Darlow could have done better with the Wolves goal, but Jacob Murphy just surprised everyone with that free kick late. Yeah,
it came for his Prem debut, and it was a really nice free kick, honestly. He put it around the wall. There's a lot of curl on it, and I'm Patricio probably did not see that one coming.
So obviously, I didn't get to watch this match really, except for the last 20 minutes. So
You saw the goals.
Yes, we can't really comment too much on whether a 1-1 is deserved or not. But
probably good result for Newcastle. Wolves will be a little disappointed not to be able to win that, I'd say. But
yeah. Oh, but did you hear about Alan Saint-Maximin?
No.
Let me find it. Yeah, okay. So apparently, Newcastle United, they signed Maximin to a 6-year contract extension.
Yeah.
But according to this headline, and Newcastle United signed Saint-Maximin's bricklayer mate from Australia's 4th division.
What?
So they signed a guy who played a few matches in Australia's 4th division before the pandemic happened. He was a bricklayer in Australia, learned English in Australia. He apparently was in the same academy as Saint-Maximin in the U15s. This kid came from Clairefontaine, but he got kicked out. I don't know if it was from this academy or a different one because of his bad attitude. And I guess him and Newcastle decided to sign this guy up, and he's part of the Newcastle under-23s. Bruce said it certainly helps Alan. It's his mate. But make no mistake, we haven't just signed him because he's Alan's mate.
So they basically did just sign someone because he's friends with Saint-Maximin. What the hell?
Like,
that is pretty interesting.
And apparently he scored a sick bicycle kick in his 6-week trial.
Hey, nice goal. Let's sign you.
Yeah, I don't know.
You never know.
He came from Clairefontaine, which is a very renowned academy in France. So these guys has to have some talent, but is he really good enough for Premier League in the future?
Premier League? Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out. Wait to be seen.
Maybe he'll play for one of the local non-league teams in the future. Okay, so let's move on to Saturday's matches. Greg, which one do you want to talk about?
Well, you want to just go down what came in order? So West Ham City.
Why not? West Ham, Manchester City, a 1-1 result. A great result for West Ham, but Manchester City, it's not ideal for them.
Well, first, Mikel Antonio. What a goal.
You love to see
a goal. Honestly, there's a lot of good English strikers for England. Like, that actually can play for the national team.
I don't know if is he really national team level?
But, like, just in case, you know what I'm kind of saying? Like
I'd say at best, there's a lot of players. At best.
But that's still not bad. He's you gotta admit, he's been great for West Ham the past 7-8 months.
Oh, for sure. He's been, this season especially, he's been great. And West Ham, we've definitely underestimated them, but with new information, we can make a different opinion. And we can see that against a lot of the sides outside of Newcastle, they have competed and they have deserved the result they have gotten in each of every one. Maybe even some of them they deserve more. Yeah,
well, they're getting the draws out of a big team like Manchester City. Of course, made the comeback against Spurs the match day before, and those are good results that they fought hard for and did really well to earn it, honestly.
Is this something they can keep up for the entire season?
It's gonna be difficult. Because I think those big teams also are just still adapting to the season and everything with how everything's changed. But only time will tell.
Still, I don't think that you can give any excuses to City here.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about Ben Rama? You think he's gonna make a big difference at West Ham?
I mean, maybe. I really don't know. I don't know if he's gonna transition to the Premier League that. I'll be honest. I've only seen him a few times in the past, so I'm not sure what to really expect out of him. You're more better.
A lot of quality, lots of quality, honestly. So
Yeah. So and also apparently Aguero came off injured, which isn't ideal.
Yeah, back gone for a good while. They're forced to play Sterling probably down the middle again, which is that best for Manchester City?
I mean, you'd ideally want a striker that can score big chances, but you have to do with what you got. And they've spent a lot of money on players in the past. They have so much attacking talent. You'd hope they can make it work.
Yeah, they just can't get it working because, of course, Phil Foden did get brought on. He did make the equalizer, so
yeah, he's definitely should be in this lineup more often than not.
He looked like one of the only players out there who was really working hard and actually making a difference.
Mm-hmm. So
even like this game was at 5:30 in the morning for us. I was like half asleep, half awake. I swear every time I saw De Bruyne have the ball late in the game, he just like made a bad pass, giving the ball away. Like, I don't know.
Well, I think we won't speak too much more about that. Manchester City did get a win in the Champions League midweek, and so
City just wasn't good enough though in that match. Honestly, that's just how kind of City's been this entire season so far.
Yeah, so we'll see if they can bounce back in their future matches. But Greg, it's time to talk about your club and their shambolicness.
Don't make me.
2-1 loss to Crystal Palace. Greg, what happened, man? What happened?
Basically, we're completely dominating the game for about 8-9 minutes. Just pure domination, honestly. Crystal Palace, and this is the thing. This is how Crystal Palace plays. And this is honestly how Fulham played, too. But we just don't do anything with our domination. We can't actually get a clear-cut chance and score the goal. So, of course, Crystal Palace gets one counterattack with Wilfried Zaha, and Zaha's complete, brilliance makes a really nice pass, and just they score. Off the very first chance they have in the game. I'm frustrated at that point, because, honestly, it's just how Fulham plays. They have to be too perfect. They try and make everything look real good, instead of just going for a greasy goal, going for the simple, they always go for the simple plays. They actually need to take more risks as well, because it just never works. Even in the last Premier League season that they were in, where they got relegated 2 years ago, when you look at stats, the top 6 teams, so Spurs, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and United, are all top 6 in terms of passes, completions per game. Fulham was number 7 at that point. That just shows you. That's a team that just came out of the championship, and they're making almost or more passes than those teams. That's when you know, something's just wrong. This is not how they should be playing. And it's just, it broke us, honestly. Those counterattacks.
Matt could probably relate, except his team's good.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things. Sorry, Greg.
Yeah, that's a little different. But Crystal Palace, I mean, they like to be defensive. They like to make counterattacks, and you gotta respect that sort of play. Roy Hodgson did a very outclassed Scott Parker on the tactics.
When you think Roy Hodgson is done, he just rises from the grave and is just getting results again, and they're high up the table. They have, I think, 10 points this season now. Yeah, same as Southampton, just a -1 goal differential. Greg, you guys need to get results soon.
Yeah, it's we talked about in our Premier League prediction who would be the first manager to go. If Scott Parker, if we don't beat West Brom next week, it could be rough.
It's such a shame, because you see some promise with him, but obviously this challenge right now might be just a bit too early for him.
Yeah, Mitrovic has been really poor the past couple of games. Honestly, probably the worst player the past 2 games.
Jeez.
So I'm kind of wondering if bench him, honestly, try and get someone else in there. But we didn't really get a different striker to play. So, and then we also did get a red card. Kamara got basically similar to Dine's red card, kind of just a clumsy play where it just happened to stud on the Achilles, and it's a red card for Kamara after he came on. So that was a blow to the face.
Is Kamara the player that you don't like?
Yeah, not. He's a lot better than he was that season, but because that was bad what he was doing that season. But yeah, of course, and then we're already down 2-0 and a red card. And Tom Kearney just scores an absolute banger, of course. But it's like, why don't you just do that before? That's what I'm talking about. They take a risk when there's 1 minute left in the game. Why not just actually take a shot like that earlier on in the match rather than just, oh yeah, let's just do a sideways pass instead? And it's just...
Well, Greg, at least my team won today. I mean, this weekend. Okay, sorry for taking the piss out of you there. But
yeah.
Liverpool, they did defeat Sheffield United 2-1. Tighter match than most people expected, but there was some early controversy. Penalty for Sheffield United early. Initially given as a foul on the top of the box. It looked like Fabinho got the ball first. I'm not going to lie. Then VAR says, oh, that's actually in the box, even though it looks like it was literally just outside the box.
It was very tight how it was, but
I thought VARs for these type of things are for clear and obvious errors. Was that really clear and obvious that was in the box, or because it didn't really look that clear to me? Cause
you can hardly tell. Like it's stuff like that I just hate VAR. It's like you said, clear and obvious. Oh yeah, like he was 20 yards offside, but they gave the goal and it counts like in certain situations. That's where I like VAR. Bring that, like, get it out. When you're offside by an elbow, that's not what we like to see. That just, you're ruining the game basically.
Yeah, and they weren't even checking if it was a foul or not according to the VAR. They were just checking if it was in the box or not, which maybe my biased opinion is overtaking me here, but I think they were wrong with that.
Yeah.
And then they don't even check if he got the ball first. If he did get the ball first, you might as well just go with the on-field decision. Because obviously you can't overturn fouls, like only penalties. Yeah. But that was frustrating. That gave Sheffield United a boost. They created some good chances in the first half that maybe they should have scored, but they were not taking the best, and Alisson was back, so we had some confidence with our back line. It was great.
Yeah. And of course, big talk point though, Ryan Brewster, his first start in the Premier League is against his old club. So
and it was always going to be a tough match for him. Obviously, they know him quite well. He knows them quite well, but obviously he's still at the beginning of his career trying to...
Especially like Joe Gomez and Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah.
Academy players as well, so...
I thought Ampadu was also pretty decent, but Liverpool, they did get their first goal. A rebound scored by Mr. Bobby Firmino. People talk crap about him not scoring at Anfield last season. Matt, well, here you go. It's not the nicest goal ever, but it's a goal. Come on. But then...
I mean, it was just a freebie.
Hey, man.
But maybe this will give him some confidence to go score some goals, right? So
hey, he's not the main goal threat in our team.
I'm aware of that, but...
and also Liverpool played a change of system. They played a 4-2-3-1 with...
Yeah, they gave Jota the start.
Yeah, and
so down the right with Salah down the middle striker. So
and he made the most out of it. He scored a chance. He got a free header in the 64th minute. Not kind of surprised he got a free header there, but you take that. I was happy about it. Liverpool ended up, being for the most part quite comfortable for the rest of the match, and they get away with a 2-1 victory goal. Yeah, it was a decent performance. It's what they need, especially after losing their best defender.
Yeah, what happened last week? Yeah, having Alisson back was definitely key, though, for you guys.
Yeah, I'm very happy he's back, and hopefully we can keep this going with the Champions League and the Premier League's next matches and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that wraps up the Premier League. There are 2 matches tomorrow: Brighton versus West Brom, Burnley versus Tottenham. I mean,
I need Spurs to win. Dear God, please, Spurs. Also, I need Brighton to win. Please.
did you hear that? Spurs and Brighton win. Yeah. All right, so let's move on. It was some big derbies this weekend. Well, not okay. Next one's technically not a derby. We had this argument last week on the podcast when we were talking about our top 5 derbies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Liam said El Clasico was a derby. Greg and I were like, no, not really.
It's technically not a derby.
And according to FCBarcelona.com, the official website, they say that it's not a derby.
It's not a derby. It's just a big match.
There you go, Liam.
It's just the two best teams in the Liga going at it.
Yeah.
But of course, that match did happen.
Yes, and it was a good Clasico.
It starts off quick.
Yeah.
It's going quick, so.
Yeah, I watched it over the Fulham match because, El Clasico or Fulham.
If I wasn't a Fulham fan, I wouldn't be choosing Fulham Crystal Palace over El Clasico, but.
Of course. There's another match I'd rather watch over you guys. I'm sorry, Greg. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I don't blame you.
But yes, Federico Valverde, he scores first. Really, he got in behind quite easily, and a great strike past Neto. But Barcelona striked right back. Ansu Fati.
That's Ansu Fati.
But then, there was some. First half was quite back and forth. We saw quite a few chances. It was actually a good match to watch. In the second half, Barcelona began to trail off a bit. They didn't start Antoine Griezmann. They started 3 teenagers: Ansu Fati, Pedri, and Sergio Dest.
Yeah.
But it wasn't one of them that made the mistake later on in the second half. It was Langley who pulled Sergio Ramos' jersey just a little bit. And then Sergio Ramos, he made the most out of it. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But the ref decided to give that a penalty. I believe he looked at the VAR screen. And Sergio Ramos taking the penalty. Seems like he's the best penalty taker in the world right now. Scores another one.
Yeah.
2-1.
Slots it in.
Yeah, 2-1 Real Madrid. Later on, Luka Modric came on, and then he just had a madness. 3 guys, a couple guys around him, a few guys on the line.
Yeah, he was just dancing. He was dancing around Neto, honestly, there.
Outside the boot shot, boom, goal. 3-1. El Clasico goes to Real Madrid. They now are the leaders out of the 2 clubs with El Clasico victories, because during this match, they were tied in all-time El Clasico matches. Now, Real Madrid are ahead by 1.
Yeah.
So, seeing how that shapes up La Liga, if I could actually get the table up, I probably should have had that prepared. But Real Madrid, they're currently sitting second with a game in hand, 13 points. Not the best start to the season. Barcelona, they have a game in hand ahead of some teams, 2 games in hand ahead of other teams, but currently they're in 12th place.
Yeah, we kind of wish Matt would have been here for this, and we haven't really heard anything from him because he is the Barcelona fan.
He's probably pissed.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. In terms of this match, is pissed. In terms of how the season started for them, he's pissed.
Oh, he was happy with the start, but since the international break, hasn't been ideal. Getafe loss, now El Clasico loss. They need to get some results now.
Yeah.
And Griezmann starting off the bench. He hasn't really been offering too much. Luis Suarez scoring goals for Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, you as a Barcelona fans, you must miss Luis Suarez right now.
Well, a lot of them, I think it was the right time for him to leave the club, but...
I know, but just what he did for that club and everything. It's just...
But his new club, Atletico Madrid, got a 2-0 victory. Atletico Madrid have 11 points, 2 behind Real Madrid with a game in hand, 3 behind top place Real Sociedad, but with 2 games in hand. So,
is this Atletico's year to win the title?
I'm not saying anything yet. I talked last season. Oh, actually, I did say that they needed some time to mold, get used to each other. They did lose Thomas Partey this summer, which could be a hit. But they also brought in Luis Suarez, who could be an actual goal scorer, which was what they were missing last season. They've only conceded one goal in 5 matches, so...
Yeah, a real leader for João Felix. Show him the ropes, get him going, you know?
Yeah, potentially there could be something here, Greg. I'm not going to say it right now, no. But maybe once we get halfway through the season, I see some of their matches, how they're playing. Hopefully they're not having results like against Bayern.
Yeah.
You have to consider them. You always have to consider Atletico Madrid as a threat ever since they won that La Liga title those years ago.
100%.
And they've improved as a club significantly, despite the losses they make almost every single season. They still have one of the best managers in the world. They have some talented players. They finally have a goal scorer, the best defense in the league. Will it happen? I'm not going to say yes, but I'm willing to change my mind later.
Yeah, it's still very early.
Yes. So let's quickly move on to the Revierderby in the Bundesliga. We don't have the Liam noises this week, but Dortmund, they did defeat Schalke 3-0. The first half was quite cagey. Schalke defended quite well. And do you know who I noticed who was on the bench?
Who's that?
So it showed one of their coaches. I'm like, this guy looked familiar. Then I looked on his jacket. It had just one initial on there. N. Can you guess who that is, Greg?
Who was it, Lucas?
Naldo. I just remember him in FIFA. Just insane free kicks and shot power. But he was also a good defender. Not for Monaco, he was awful there. But for Schalke, he was a good defender. For Werder Bremen, he was pretty good, I think, as well. And I guess he's a coach there now. But they did defend well for the first half. But the second half came around, and Dortmund were able to break down Schalke. They needed a bit of luck. But Akanji scored the first one. Haaland scored the second. Hummels scored the third. I was about to say Dirt Clasico. That's the wrong match. A Revierderby victory for Borussia Dortmund. Incredible scenes for them. It's what they needed, especially with what Bayern did this weekend as well. It's a good victory.
Very bad for Schalke.
Still 1 point in the league.
Yeah, they're. It's not looking great for them, I gotta say. And if it happens in the Bundesliga, but a historic club goes down right now, it's not going to be good.
Nope, not at all, Greg. So Bayern, they also defeated Frankfurt.
Yeah, a good smashing by Bayern, of course, after their Champions League smashing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we didn't mention quickly. Bayern smashed Atletico Madrid in Champions League. So
insert was 4-0 me. No, we won't insert that right now. But Bayern 5-0 victory, 4-0 victory midweek. Things are looking good for them, but Alphonso Davies limped off injured. It looked like it was an ankle injury, but I wasn't able to read up too much about it. So we hope he's fine, and hopefully he can recover quickly if it is any way an injury that's going to have him sidelined. So we wish you the best, Fonzie. We hope you'll recover quick. All right, so let's move on. I'm sorry, we're going to skip Serie A and Liga, and I wasn't able to watch any of those. I'm sure, Greg, you didn't watch any either.
Nope, unfortunately not.
I know Juventus did draw against Hellas Verona, which is not looking good for Juventus.
Not great.
But we won't...
Didn't Atalanta lose as well?
Yes, they lost to Sampdoria.
Yeah, so that's not good for them right now.
And AC Milan, they have a match tomorrow against Roma. Well, it's today. Can they keep their undefeated streak going? Since last season, I think they're like 22 matches undefeated. They're 4-0 right now. Hopefully they can keep it up. It's a great story right now. Zlatan is balling. They defeated Celtic on Thursday, which Liam wasn't the most
Liam's
happy
a little
about.
upset.
Yeah, so we'll move on from that. Sorry if you're wanted our Serie A insight. It's usually not that great, to be fair, but
Yeah, and then French league, you know.
Yeah, I didn't. I watched a bit more French league last week, but nothing this week. Nothing intrigued me. Greg, do you want to read out Liam's comments about Celtic today?
Yeah, we just talked about AC Milan beating Celtic in the Europa League, of course, on Thursday. So yeah, I'll quickly mention what Liam said in the chat right before. Is only one comment about it, and it's Celtic is bad. They are bad right now. They need a new manager before January, otherwise 10 in a row won't happen. Lucas, what do you think about that?
Well, Celtic, they did lose last minute to Aberdeen 3-2.
Yeah.
I saw the highlight of the last goal. It was quite comedic, I won't lie. Shane Duffy looks a bit of a mess for that club right now.
Yeah, apparently he was doing pretty good apparently at the beginning of the season, but not good for Celtic. Losing 2 games in a row, or I guess technically 3 games in a row. It's a lot of confidence loss for that team.
And then you see Rangers, Jermaine Defoe, ball over top to him, first time finish, wonderful goal. Things are going perfectly for them right now. I'll quickly go look at the Scottish Premiership table, but it is just awful for Celtic in this context, because Rangers, yes, they did win 2-0. Oh, Aberdeen, my apologies, it was a 3-3 result. I think I said 3-2. My bad there.
I think you did say 3-2, but even that as a result for Celtic is bad. Like, if Celtic don't win the games, it's not a good result considering how tough Rangers are.
Yeah, Rangers at the moment 6 points clear, but but Celtic do have a game in hand.
Yeah.
I mean, Hibernian. How do you say Hibs or Hibs, whatever. Hibs, yes. They're only 2 points behind Celtic. Obviously, Celtic do have a game in hand, but Aberdeen, basically, they're only 3 points behind Celtic.
The big talking point, though, from that is, of course, Celtic need to beat Rangers in their next match. Yes. That's where those points get made up, most likely.
And you'd hope Rangers drop more points, and you'd hope Celtic wouldn't drop more points, but how Celtic have been playing.
Depends if you're a Celtic fan or a Rangers fan.
Yes.
We know we got lots of those, so.
Yes. I will not comment any further about my opinions about that.
Yeah.
Greg, we'll quickly talk about the Champions League. We won't delve into too much context about the results because those happened many days ago.
Lucas, the thing is about the Champions League, which is so nice, it's this week again.
Yeah, it's actually happening 3 weeks in a row, I think.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, it's great. Lots of football for us to watch. There's some good matches last week. Some good ones coming up, including hopefully Ronaldo versus Messi. Hopefully that can happen. We know Ronaldo did get the virus, so hopefully he will be good for that. But I think Liverpool also play Atalanta. No, never mind. We play Michelin.
Yeah. No, there is. There's one game that I know I wanted to watch, but now I can't remember which one it was.
Was it Atletico Madrid Salzburg? Atalanta Ajax?
Atalanta Ajax is the one. That's what I wanted to watch. That looks like
Ajax won 13-0 this weekend.
Yes, exactly.
Like, what?
Like, after losing to Liverpool, they were upset and they just they came out to show their dominance in the Eredivisie.
Yeah, I think they played VVV. I don't even know what it's a triple V.
Yeah.
VVV Venlo. I know you pronounce the V differently in Dutch. I'm sorry, but yeah, apparently Lassina Traore in that match. 5 goals, 3 assists.
Yeah.
What?
like what? How do you how does that other team feel? Like what it goes through your mind when you just keep conceding goals like that?
I mean, now that's the worst victory in Eredivisie history.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, what? I was so lost when I saw that. I was like, I don't even know how to feel.
It is what it is, man. But yes, hopefully we can get some sort of Champions League videos out this week. We weren't able to last week.
Yeah.
We won't guarantee anything, but maybe we might have something coming Wednesday.
Hopefully.
So,
but another match is United Leipzig.
Yes, that should be a decent match. Of
course, United beat PSG, so.
But not the most star-staggering matches this week, but,
The big headline is hopefully Ronaldo versus Messi.
Yes.
It's back, so.
So we'll look forward to that. I know Real Madrid, they did lose to Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League, which was a mad thing.
Yeah. It's like Shakhtar's not a bad team, but Real Madrid losing like that's bad.
It's just insane.
We already mentioned the Bayern, of course.
I mean, Inter tied Gladbach 2-2, but let's not delve too much into that, I guess. That was Wednesday. Europa League also did happen. We won't delve too much into that either for just this weekend. Maybe the next weekend we'll talk about it with Liam hopefully back.
Yeah.
But, Greg, let's just finish off the episode with some questions, unless if you have anything else to talk about.
Not really. No, we got most of everything that we should have talked about.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, let's dive into some questions.
Yeah. No TikTok questions this week. Just there's only 2 of us, so it's like we're not gonna spend too much time on it. But we'll answer the YouTube questions because they were asked, and Greg's got them.
Yeah. So first question's pretty basic. What are your guys' thoughts on Sergio Ramos as a top defender of all time? I'd rank him at least top 5, if not top 3.
Top 5 of all time or top 3 of all time? Oh, gee.
It's okay. Of course he's still playing, so that determines a lot. But he is getting older. Sergio Ramos, of course, is absolutely fantastic. But there's so many great defenders of all time that it's always so hard to determine this.
I wouldn't have Maldini over him. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
There's a few Italian defenders that you'd have to question, like Baresi, Nesta. Would you put them over Ramos?
See, that's the thing. It's different times, right?
Would you put Franz Beckenbauer over Sergio Ramos?
I don't know. I don't know, honestly. The thing is, I think if I actually really, really thought of it, I think Sergio Ramos would be in my top 5. He is absolutely incredible, honestly. He's done some questionable things and everything, of course, but he is a great defender and a great legend of football.
Look, what he won in his career, he certainly deserves to be in the top 5, top 3.
Yeah,
because
those Champions League, those La Ligas,
World Cup, Euros, he's pretty much won everything he can in this game. The only thing he's trying to win is the Olympic gold medal.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't think defensively he's top 3, top 5. I think other defenders were better defenders. But
he's also a leader.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic leader. He's great offensively, honestly. He can score lots of goals.
He's clutch. He's ever since he missed that one penalty those years ago, he's become a great penalty taker. He's just a guy you have to respect. Although I'm not his biggest fan right now, with Van Dijk out, I'll say he's the best defender in the world right now. It's because Van Dijk's out, so he can't really compete. But
yeah, well, Lucas, why are you not a fan of him because of Salah?
No, not because of that. I mean, I don't really get bitter like that unless if damages someone's career. And Salah ended up winning the Champions League next year, so good. But no, I just thought he was always a bit overrated defensively because I felt like he made quite a few mistakes, got away with a lot of things that maybe in other contexts he wouldn't get away with. But then again, he just keeps getting the job done for over a decade. So I really can't argue him not being one of the best of all time.
Yeah, no, I definitely rank him in top 5.
So next question, Greg.
Yeah, well, so only 2 questions, unfortunately. But could you guys talk about Park Ji-sung, the midfielder for Manchester United?
This would be a lot better if Waz was here.
Waz was here, yeah.
Yeah. The Iron, was he the, what was his nickname? Iron Lungs or something?
Yeah, I don't remember honestly, but he was a good player for Manchester United, honestly.
Okay. Apparently he's known as Three Lungs Park.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, he was a great player for them. I mean, I can't really comment too much. I don't want to give too much praise to a Manchester United player, but look,
yeah, as the Liverpool fan,
he's definitely was a big influence to a lot of. I'm sure he's influential to a lot of Asians out there, especially Koreans. He won the Champions League with them.
Yeah,
it's just a great worker for the club, and it's just someone
it's just
who,
like
who
one
fought
of
for
those
the
like
team.
it's like one of those underrated players that never. It's so hard to get more recognition when you had those real quality players during those Manchester United times, right?
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, one of those guys that just fans love. They love when he puts his all into a performance. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything bad about the guy. Actually, he's just a fantastic player, and definitely one I'm sure Waz would love to rave about right now if he was here.
Honestly, he definitely would.
Yeah, but I don't think there's not really anything else to say. So, Greg, should we wrap it up here?
Yeah, I guess let's do it. If you did enjoy, though, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. We're
Ring the
very
bell.
close. Yes, bell notification. We are very close to 6,000 subscribers, so hopefully we can get that sometime soon. But from myself, Greg, and Lucas, and the other boys, Waz, Matt, and Liam, we hope you did enjoy, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
This has been yet another week in the beautiful game.
Shut up, Lucas. Bye.